it's Deja and Di-V, and welcome back to Squared. Here are your Saturdays here on Squared, and for this week's video we are going to be sharing with you guys some story time about us being very bad kids when we were younger. We are completely different now. We would not do any of this stuff now. When we were little kids, we were very rational. And we had really bad tempers. So, you know. But if you guys can relate to this or think this video is funny, give it a like and subscribe down below to the Square channel. And we are going to be telling you guys two stories. The first story will be about the time I threw a chair at my kindergarten teacher. And the time that we basically got yelled at by the principal and told him he was like, okay. Yeah, we were really bad. And it's not funny because we're nothing like this now. And like please, you guys, do not be mean to your teachers or adults. Respect them, please. Yeah, respect your elders. So when I threw the chair at my teacher, we were just like, we didn't ever like being at school. We wanted to go home. We wanted to be with our parents. And we have to admit, we're gonna admit, when we were in elementary school, we were pretty bad kids. And it wasn't until like middle school when we were like, no, fifth grade, when we stopped having like tantrums and we stopped like being like very bad because we were just like, I don't know, I guess in the 5th grade we just sort of straightened up or got out of that phase where you just throw tantrums every minute and stuff. So. But so basically what happened is, in kindergarten, we were sitting on our little rug, the rainbow rug that they have in kindergarten. It's like purple, orange. Yeah, and normally you're all in a certain row. Well, I was in the purple row, way in the back. And I was sitting next to this kid. It was some little boy. I don't know who he is. I can't remember his name. But, and basically what happened is he was always known as that really gross kid in the class. That was always like farting or picking his nose. And he decided it would be so hilarious. I don't know why. To put a booger on me. So he like picked his nose. Yeah, and he put it on me. And the thing is, and I saw and I felt him doing all this, and I got so mad. And the thing is with me and Di-V, like when it comes to germs, we freak out so much. Especially in elementary school. Especially when we were younger, we would freak out if someone would sneeze or someone would cough. Like we hated it. We hated it. We get so like, I don't know, we just freak out. You got really anxious. It's less of that, but we still freak out about germs. Yeah. And my reaction is to punch him in the nose. And she punched him in the nose. But it's not like, I would never do this now. I'm nothing like this now. Yeah, we're nothing like how we were before now. But no, my reaction was to hit him in the nose. So that's what I did. I just punched him in the nose. I didn't, and like, it was a reflex. Screaming. Yeah. And the little boy started crying. And I remember I was in the orange row, or like a few rows ahead of Di-V, so I automatically knew something wrong, so I turned around and I saw her screaming, and then she's like, he put a booger on me, and and our teachers were like, Di-V, why'd you do that? Yeah, and I got really mad, like, I don't know, I was just screaming, and I didn't know what to do. And whenever we were mad when we were younger, we would just start throwing stuff. We'd start like, we had barrettes in our hair, so we would like pull out the barrettes, and we'd start like pulling our clothes and just doing stuff. So I was doing all of that, and then there was one of those, little chairs right next to me, and my teachers were trying to calm me down. They were being extra nice. I was being stupid. But and I picked up the chair, and she threw it. I just threw it. I literally threw it at my teacher, and she was going, Di-V! And so we then went to the principal's office, and we were in there chilling. Our parents had to come up to the school. Surprisingly, our parents were really chill about everything when we were younger. Yeah, it was kind of weird. But, and I remember we didn't really get in trouble. Instead, he handed me a cookie. But this is the part where I was such a terrible child. It was oatmeal cookies, and we hated oatmeal cookies because they have raisins in them. And we hate raisins, like they make us throw up. An oatmeal raisin cookie. And I remember this very vividly. I took the cookie, and guess what I did with it, guys? Can you guess? Can you guess? You have 5 seconds to guess. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I threw it at him. I threw the oat milk cookie at him. Okay, leading on to the second story. This is again in kindergarten, as we said. Basically what happened was our kindergarten class didn't have a C for some odd reason during this week of school, and another kindergarten class, the only other kindergarten class, did have a C. So our mom basically complained to the school, and she was like, well, I'm not going to have my kids in there if there's no AC. And they were like, okay, well, we can switch them into the other class for like that time until the AC gets fixed. And me and Di-V, we don't really like, when we're in a new setting and everything, it's really hard for us to make friends because we're so quiet and we're always like, just like, oh, it's me and Di-V, you know, and it's really hard for us to make friends. So we didn't want to leave that classroom because we had already made friends and we thought we were moving to the other classroom for good, you know, and so we got really upset. And we went to the other, you know, classroom, obviously, and we started throwing another tantrum. And we started like throwing things, we started crying and screaming and pulling out our barrettes and everything. And the teacher in that class was not having it. And she like goes up to us and she's like, you two are not about to do this in my class. Stop acting like this. She was like, I heard about you guys in the other classroom. You're not about to do this. So she pulls us outside, calls the principal, and the principal comes and by this time he was sort of like done with us. We were always throwing tantrums and everything, and then he started yelling at us and he was like, you guys can't do this, this and that. You guys, and he's just sitting there yelling at us. I remember this. We were just taking it. We were just sitting there like just staring at him. We just let him talk because he was like being really mean and just yelling at us, and we just let him talk, you know. And we were like, and for some reason, me and Di-V, when we were younger, like we were just straight savage. We were just mean. We were mean. And like, that's savage. Yeah, now we're not. We know like to always respect adults. Yeah, but when we were younger, we had no filter, man. We had no feelings. Like we were robots. Okay, so our principal, I think. So basically with me and Di-V, we thought since, oh, he's gonna be mean to us and yell at us, we'll do the same thing to him. Never do that, guys. If an adult's being mean to you and they're yelling, or if anyone's being mean to you and yelling at you, just be nice. Yeah, just be nice and just be like, okay, that's fine. You know, just ignore. Sometimes you're the problem because we were the problem back then. We were the problem. But other times maybe you're not. But don't ever, you know, add fuel to the fire. Just let it go. We started saying stuff about him. We started saying, that's why you're ugly and this and that, and that's why your lip is messed up. We said like a lot of stuff to him. And he just literally looked at us and he looked shocked that we would ever say stuff like that. If people used shook back then, he looked shook. He looked like, no way did these two little kindergartners just say all of that. And we just like really we were just really mean. Thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, remember to give it a big thumbs up and also check out our main channel. Yeah, if you would love to see yesterday's video, then click right over there. If you would love to see more of us on Squared, click right up there. And if you would like to subscribe to the Squared channel, click right over here. We'll see you guys next time.